is it worth taking 2 buses from Brampton for a drink ticket so you could do 3 minutes on stage to try new material? Is it worth that? Hell yeah, if you love it.
You have seen him on MTV as well as Degrassi. Mr. Keith Pedro, all the way from the Great White North, Canada. How you doing, buddy?
Some people want to make it to heaven, but they're too scared to die. Oh, hi guys. I'm Keith Pedro, and I'm a comedian. And I'm from Toronto, Canada. Come right on, get comfortable. But take your shoes off! Take them off! Damn it!
I'm Ninita Loquio Pedro, mother of Keith Pedro, from Urdaneta, Pangasinan, Philippines. And right now, I'm residing here in North York, Ontario, Canada.
It was tough being Filipino because I wasn't the guy that liked playing basketball. Like if you did not play basketball, you didn't like girls because you didn't like sweating with other boys. That was the problem that I had. So also I dabbled in some hockey. My mom was like, let's do, because my brother did hockey. And the crazy thing about sports was I was actually good. I played rep basketball in OBA, so that's like with the black kids. And I played hockey and so I wasn't just in the Filipino league, bro. Trust me, I had game and I was doing hockey, but I didn't really they made me goalie because I wanted to fight all the time. So I didn't know that cross-checking was bad. I also was taking Kung Fu at the time, so I thought I was like a ninja. The thing that I loved was, Saturday morning cartoons, X-Men, Iron Man, Fantastic. I love that. So then when they're like, you gotta play basketball, I go, okay, cool. When's the games? Saturday mornings. No! That's the only reason why I live, man. You could take that away from me. It wasn't Netflix. I had to wait the next Saturday. My mom took me into a cartooning class, and that was it for me. I was like, I want to do this. They're like, come play again. I'm like, no, I'm not playing with you losers. I have clouds to draw and characters to create.
My hopes and dreams for my kids, Canada has a better education system. More opportunities here that what Canada can offer. Like me, when I got my registered certificate as a nurse, it's up to you as a person to make your life good. So, to have a better education, you have a better opportunity to make your life good. Si kami nga pamilya, mostly na natapos me. Kaya ti importante, mayroong natapos ti tao ti education. Ngayon, ti education dito in Canada is different. Mas maganda kaysa sa Pilipinas. Mas ad-ado ti oportunidad mo dito nga umasenso. Basta agadal ka nga usto, ken ado ti may offer ti Canada. Canada has a lot of things to offer to you. Kaya maganda ang Canada.
Seriously, no, dreams as a kid. I was a big dreamer. Fresh Prince was my favorite show. That was my shit. And then at the end of the show, when they would show the bloopers, and they would make mistakes and everybody's joking around, and I'm like, oh my God, I want that job. How do I get that job? The dream was that was it. I wanted to be some sort of TV star.
Kid is really, really very artistic, and he loves to read comics. And Kid will sit on top here and read that book the whole time. He likes fashion. He likes nice clothes. He likes nice things like that. So that's how he is.
When I was in elementary school, a lot of teachers just said what my mom said. I was crazy. Because I always had smart remarks. There would be one time this one teacher's I was being loud, and I was probably in grade 7. And this teacher's like, Keith, what are you here? A kindergarten kid? And I'm like, yes, I'm a kindergarten kid. And she's like, no, you're not, Keith. You're in grade 8. And I'm like, so then why are you asking questions you already know the answers to? And everybody started dying. So I was always that, guy. I had quick, wise remarks. I made so-called smart people just look dumb. There was one teacher, Mr. Moira, grade 11. He knew what was up with me. I was going through things in school and like personal homes, and he took me aside and he's like, yo man, like he gave me one of those like Coach Carter speeches. He's like, yeah, you shouldn't be with your friends. You're better than that. He's like, there's a talent there in you, kid. I'm like, shut up, Mr. Mora. You don't know what it's like being black in that. Sorry, that's a different movie. Sorry, no. But seriously though, you know every movie's like that, like Dangerous Minds. But no. But seriously though, he took me aside and he gave me that speech. He was just like, yo, man, your friends are problems. I know what you're going. You know, I know what you're doing. Da da da. You don't have to do this. You have a gift. Like the crazy thing about me though is like I have a really good memory. All my teachers were like, yeah, he's got something there, but he just messes around too much.
I told him, I said, when you go to high school, you're gonna meet a lot of kids from different schools. The good thing with my kids, they bring the kids, their friends to our house. So I know them all, right? Mary Jane, I call it Mary Jane. So I said, I hope, kid, you don't do that and you don't smoke because you have asthma and it's not good for your health.
So high school was tough. I finished high school late. You know, all my friends were like, because I messed around too much. Like I have a son and he's 15 now and I'm telling him like, get your habits ready. Because the whole point, like 16 probably to 22 was just recovering from bad choices, bad habits. I got in trouble with the law. I lost time of my life. You know what I mean? Time was taken away from me. And I lost a few friends, you know, overdose, murders, things like that. And it was pretty sad. I get off, you know, house arrest. I'm like, yo, I gotta like, you know, friends are passing away. So I was like, I gotta get my stuff together. I gotta get it together, you know? I told my mom I saw like on CP24, like they're advertising this Humber comedy night. And, you know, my friends, we would go like, you know, basement, garage, you know, everybody would like smoke, have fun. And I'll be the guy who's just talking smack. And everybody's laughing. And one guy's like, bro, do the Humber thing, man. What do you have to lose? And I'm like, yeah, what do I have to lose? So then I went to the thing, did the audition, didn't think I got it. Then they called me, they're like, no, you got it. And then literally this thing, a lot of people started. I think there was like 120 people that started, 2-year program. I think at the end of the second year, probably like 40 people graduated. Like a lot of people don't stay because it's a tough program. You know what I mean? Not tough, but like people are like, I don't want to do this. This is like, so you take, I took like improv with Alan Gutman, Mike Myers' mentor, and like Yuck Yuck's headliners like Larry Horowitz and stuff like that. They just teach you the game. They teach you all the stuff, you know, script writing, acting, all this stuff. And that's where I met my core group of friends now. And second year, I was with a girl, and I was dating a girl who had like a kid at the time. And then I ended up getting her pregnant. And then I was just like, all right, this has got to work now, man. Like, damn, I'm ready. Like, you know, graduation's in 4 months. Like, I got it. You know what I mean? This has got to work now. So then what I did was I took my previous background in the street entrepreneurship, and I was just like, forget it. I'm not gonna. So when you do the circuit, everybody's like, oh, you got 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, open mic 3 minutes. And I was like, I gotta work on 10-minute set. I gotta work on 20-minute set. So I was like, forget it. And this was before social media. So I was like, I'm gonna do my own thing. So I did my own thing where I did like 40-minute set. We did it, Clinton's, and we also had sketches we wanted to showcase, me and my friends. So we rented out a venue, and then one of the sketches that we did was a guy who only speaks in NBA Jam terms. Remember the game NBA Jam? So he's in a job interview, and he's like, "Oh, where are those shoes from?" He's like, "Oh, you look the guy who does the interviews like, hey, where are you from?" And the guy goes, "From downtown." And then like, you know what I mean, stuff like that. He's like, "There's something about you, kid. I like the cut of your jib. Is it the shoes?" "Yeah, it must be the shoes. Crocodile skin loafers." And at the end of the sketch, he goes, "Oh, boom shakalaka," and that was the name of the show, Boom Shakalaka. And then it became this reoccurring sketch and stand-up show that became this like hit.
Nowadays, man, everybody has a cool cell phone or an iPad. Like I remember I saw this 9-year-old kid. You know, he was crossing the street and he had an iPhone, texting on his iPhone, almost got hit by a car. So I yell at this kid. I'm like, "Dude, what you doing to the iPhone, bro? You're 9 years old." This is what this Fisher-Price punk tells me, okay? This is what he tells me. He's like, "Yo, bro, how else am I supposed to call my parents to come pick me up from school?" And look at him, like, how spoiled is this kid? Because when I was growing up, I could call my parents to come pick me up from school without using a cell phone, but using a payphone with no quarter. There was that prank collect call. You guys remember what I'm talking about, right? You have a collect call from, hey, mom, I'm done school, don't have to charge his peaked, and his fucking bounce. Remember that shit?
I take him to Richmond Hill at night for his science, for his math, in order to finish high school. I don't even have an idea what is a comedian until, and the only I know about comedian is when I watched Dolph P, the Filipino comedian. I was in the movie that they are reading the script, right? I don't know about that. He never take an absent. Even if he was having colds, he just go to school and his grade was all straight A. I figured, I said, oh, he loved this course, so, but I don't know what is this, you know. Okay, if that's what you want, why not? So that's why I just let him do what he want to do, because I cannot dictate what they want.
Family reaction was, it was different. It was weird. Like, I had some like people who were like, yeah, go for it, man, do it. And then some people were like, oh, you gotta wake up. This is a dream. You gotta wake up. You have a kid. You have health benefits. You need pension. You know. And it was for real because some of when they migrated here, that's what their dream was, to just live comfortable. But like my mom would say, like I didn't want what everybody wanted. Like I think I'm the only one in my family. Like my family's either nurses or teachers, and my brother's an accountant. So the first show with Boom Shakalaka, when we did it, it was more of just like, hey, we're new guys coming up, and we just want to showcase the stuff that we got. So we wanted to make money off it. We charged $5 at the door. Place was rammed, and then it started gaining a lot of press. So it started like crazy good headliners would come and do our stand-up in our shows, and then it came to a point where we were getting press from E-Talk. We were featured on E-Talk like 2-3 times. We have guys like Scott Thompson, who've been on the Kids in the Hall. And Kids in the Hall's coming back. He was featured on our show. He came a few times. Guest writer. We got Dave Mahash from Rami. He came on the show. We had special guest host. We had Colin Mockery from Whose Line Is It Anyway? I can't believe I forgot that. He did our show. So we had every Thursday, last Thursday of every month, we did it at the supermarket in Kensington Market. And we would ram this place up, and it was a party, and we would be there till 3-4 a.m. having a great time. And it was a place where like a lot of comics too would come and hang out after their shows. So this became a big thing. It was like, we literally didn't have to worry about posts by this time. We were just showing up and like, oh, last Thursday month, oh, okay, it's rammed. Another sold out show. And then all of us became something. Like I became a headliner at a headliner comedian touring with clubs and yuck yucks and stuff like that. And then other guys got TV shows, started production companies and moved to New York and worked with Will Ferrell. Like, so we all like separated, and that was the goal, right? To do this show until we couldn't. A special place in Toronto, I would probably have to say from the last maybe close to 10 years would probably be like around my neighborhood in like Fort York and Bathurst area, like because I'll just, if you know me in that neighborhood, I'm the guy that walks around talking to himself because I'm practicing bits, or like I'll just run on rants that I say to myself. So now what I do to just make people think I'm normal is I just put AirPods on. Nothing's playing. They're just like, oh, this guy's in an intense conversation. He's very passionate about what he's talking about. But in that area, you'll see me like just practice jokes. I'll walk around, I'll practice jokes, and there's a part like by the Fort York Library where it's like underneath a path where like I'll just chill there and just pretend that's a small little stage and just pace out and be like, do my stuff. And then, and just, there's another spot where I go to called the Bentway, I'll take the family there, do some skateboarding, maybe some, some hanging out. And there's that place in that area where, I've taken phone calls there, big important phone calls, practice my material, take my kids for a walk. So it's like that whole neighborhood is just, where I do my, like, if someone were to tell you my office, it would be in my car because I'm always on the road. But if I'm closing deals or getting ready for something big, it's gonna be in that vicinity. So if you know me and you're walking around and you see me with my AirPods on, don't talk to me. Do not talk to me. Make sure your shoes are off. There was a lot of challenges in raising children as being a comedian and a young dad. Mind you, like I was dating my girl at 20 and she had a daughter already. And then I got her pregnant at 22. We got together once, but 2 babies, that's a foul and one. You know what I mean? So with that being said, it was tough, man. And I had a good support system. Like my mom was like, we were living at my mom's house for a bit. So my mom helped me babysit and she would tell me, go do your gigs. Go do your gigs. Do what you gotta do. I would see guys, other comics go to open mics and like, I'm just gonna do whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no, I can't do whatever. Like I'm leaving my family for this. I get it. If this doesn't work out, they're all gonna say they're right. No, it is not gonna happen. So I was, I had goals in mind and I had a lot of like, shout out to the older OG Filipino comedian, Ron Jossel. He told me when I was coming up, he's like, get this, get a 7-minute set, get a 20-minute set, get a 7 clean. And I went out every night and I made sure I was working on me and this craft. I wasn't wasting time, because when you have a kid, it's like you're not wasting time. And at the same time too, like it made me strong to negotiate and communicate my rate. Because I know a lot of guys and a lot of independent guys who are art, you're always like, blah, 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 but I stood my ground, you know what I mean? I was like, no, you want me, this is what I bring.
I pray hard that I know when Kit was starting this, I never know about this stand-up comedian until I went to watch him in Yak Yaks. And when he was studying, when we were in the house, he's practicing the first time, he was in the basement and practicing his comedy. Then, when I watched him in Yak Yak, for 3 minutes, they have to finish their comedy, right? And my son took me there to watch him, and I don't have a clue what it's all about. So when I was watching the other student before him, I said, this is how this course is, and I said, what is this, And I said, oh my God, you think he has a good future here, Because like us, we live in we thought being a teacher, being a nurse, being a doctor, being this is good, right? So when he started it, I was amazed and I cried. I know I was doing like this. I said, oh, my son has a talent. Keep telling me that I'm not proud of him, that I don't even tell to his friends. So how could I tell? I can't even explain to my friends, because my friends are old-fashioned like me, that they don't know about this. And even if I say, come on, let's go, I tell them, but they don't know what's going on. So what can I do? Until I think after a while, they're learning this comedy. But my friends in New York and my friends in California and in Texas, they know about it and they said, go ahead, Nita, let him. Your son has a talent. You should. I said, okay, fine.
For those who don't know, there was a show back on Much Music, and it was called Video on Trial, where like comedians would come and roast videos, first like reaction videos, you would say, and it got bought out by Fuse TV, but it was a big deal. If you were a comedian on this show, like you were a big deal. We did this one show with like 2 other comedians on the show, and we were at Brock University, and there was a lineup that went like down the street, and it's crazy. Like I remember I was on a plane to Thunder Bay, and this guy was like, oh my God, Much on Demand. I'm like, Video on Trial. Well, yeah, okay, yeah. So it's like that show where people just know, and it was a really good show where like comedians just come in and you can just talk smack. It's the first real I made it moment, because it's Canada, there's a lot. So it was when I was working at Future Shop and I had to quit because I was touring too much. I kept telling them, I can't work this day, I can't work this day. They're like, what day can you work? And I'm like, I guess I can't. I'm out of here. No, I didn't leave like that. I wanted to. I just gave him my 2 weeks and it was all good. I love everybody there. But the shop don't exist no more. The shop didn't last in the future, guys, so we can say what we want about it. So as another You Made It moment, I was at Wonderland, and I'm just with my family, and then I could hear, that's him, I was like, what's going on here? I didn't hear all these things, and then my cousin like nudges me, and this is when the cousins from Vancouver, I think for Dwayne's wedding, for Mike's wedding, and they nudge me, and like these kids are like staring at you, and they all have their phones out, and I'm like, what's up? They're like, can we take a picture? I was like, yeah, you can take a picture, sure. And then I realized, I'm like, this is it, yo. And then my cousins were like, oh, my cousins from I think they're from Virginia. They're like, oh wow, Keith, you got it like that. I'm like, yeah, man. Funnel cakes on me. They're like, oh, you're a Canadian celebrity. I'm like, yeah, funnel cakes on me. Everybody got a funnel cake. Then I realized the price. I'm like, no, just one funnel cake. Take one bite, pass it around, guys. It's a Canadian celebrity. I'm a Canadian celebrity.
Yeah, now I'm very proud of him, and you know what I like from Keith? I know I had a headache with him, and when he has his kid, Vinicio, if possible, he doesn't want to tell Vinicio what happened to him. I say, okay, that's fine, right? And one thing more I like from Keith is he's a very loving son, and I know we argue all the time when it comes to lots of things, like going to church. He said to me, Mommy, I go to church, but not on Sunday, because I just pass by in the church, and I want to be in the church without too many people. I talk to God. So I said, okay, fine. As long as you believe in God, and you're with him. So, and every time he goes for audition or anything he will do, he will call me and say, Ma, can you pray for me? Being here in Canada, it's God's will. So I'm so thankful that we are here in Canada. I like Canada because being a Canadian, ask it. I've been all over, because you don't have, when you go for a trip, you don't have to get for a visa here. You go to Europe, you just have your ticket, and you go everywhere you go.
I'll tell you, so how do I feel on stage? I'll tell you right now, I've been doing this for like 16 years, and I've been doing a lot of theaters, a lot of cool stuff, and I didn't really have a chance to enjoy it. You ever watch the movie Soul, right? And Pixar movie Soul, it's exactly like that. I was chasing this so much, and now, like, we did a red carpet event at Greek Theater, another moment where I thought, whoa, I made it. So we're doing this Greek Theater in Hollywood, red carpet event. We're lining up doing this red carpet stuff. Joe Coy's there, Black Eyed Peas there. It's an Apple the App Foundation event. Jabberwocky's there. It's a big moment. And, I'm there. I'm just in my head because, you gotta work, you gotta schmooze, you gotta smile, you gotta do everything. Everybody thinks your job's on stage. It's everything off the stage, right? So, and those were moments where I look back at it and I'm just like, I didn't really enjoy this. I didn't sit back and I didn't like, yo, man, there's thousands of people here in this audience. Like, I didn't really enjoy it. So my thing now is what I'm doing now is I'm promising myself to just enjoy it. There was a time where and that was before the pandemic and all that stuff. Like, I don't know Theo, if you guys know Theo Vaughn, big comedian. He's got millions of followers. He did this show. I had a chance to perform with him at the Queen Elizabeth Theater before the pandemic. 5 sold out theater shows. And I made sure every time I got an applause break where the crowd was just laughing. Because when you get a good applause break in the theater, you get time to chill. And usually when I chill, I'll be that comedian that goes for the drink, or, I think of the next joke. I made sure I stopped and enjoy every moment, every clap that I deserved. Let's be honest, it is the hardest performing art. I can't go and do covers. Justin Bieber made a living. He was singing on the thing doing covers. Actors, they have to read and memorize someone else's script. I have to write my script. I gotta memorize it and it has to be totally original. I gotta make a 19-year-old white woman and a 38-year-old black dude laugh at the same idea. Do you know how hard that is? You know, and when they all do, they all laugh at this idea and they all clap at once. It's amazing. My advice to anybody just like, you know, who's Filipino and they want to take an unorthodox route, you know, where they're not going to get a job right away after school, or like my advice to anybody who's chasing a dream, don't stop. Like, and well, wise man, I live by this one quote, and this is what the quote I live by, and I got this quote in an orange jumpsuit. This man told me, he goes, some people want to make it to heaven, but they're too scared to die. So you gotta sacrifice. So I died several times for this. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to die for this, you don't deserve to live through this. You know what I mean? So your tears and your like fights and all this stuff, it's gonna be worth it. And if you're not going through that, then you're not doing it enough. You know, so you have to die first to go to heaven. Like if this is something you really want, it's like anything else in life. It's like, you know, you're never gonna find the right job. You got a perfect job because, you know, there's gonna be some things that suck with that job. But it's like, is that job worth the part? Like, is it worth it? It's worth it. If you can withstand all of that nonsense, then it's worth it. Do it and go with your gut.
Oh, what making it in Canada means to me is great. It's so great that I came to this Canada that give me a good life. It's not that I don't like Philippines, but this is where my life with my family, with my kids, I have all my families, or my sisters, my nieces, and everybody. And I like the politics, but, and I like the weather now, and I can buy whatever I want to buy here, I can eat what I want to eat, and I can live a simple way, the way I like to live.
Making it in Canada means providing for your family with your dreams and your arts and your crafts. Like, it's great that like I get to do these amazing gigs and like, you know, buy my son some new Jordans with swear words and you know what I mean? Things that people told me I would never get paid for doing. And that's the dream. Like, and the best thing about Canada is you can be on TV and you can be a comedian and you can work with amazing people and you can pay for your family's dreams with your dream, and no one gets to bug you at the grocery store because they still don't know who you are. And that's the best part about making it in Canada. You get all of the perks and all of the privacy.